This movie has a very strange cast. It's got Treat Williams, who I've personally never heard of him. I tried to look at some of his movies, and I don't think I've seen him in anything, but I also didn't look too deep. We also got this guy named Vito, who is. I really liked his performance in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie as Korath. I wish he would have done more in those movies. He was pretty funny. He was also in Quiet Place Part 2, but he didn't really do much in that movie. You got the fucking girl that played Jean Grey in the first three X-Men movies. I believe she also made brief cameos in the Wolverine and X-Men Days of Future Past. And we got the dude that fucking played Kano in the original Mortal Kombat movie. And he's one of the first bad guys to go. And his name's T-Ray. Uh, this movie's fine. It's more action than horror. At times I was really enjoying it. I did have a lot of fun. I was never bored, but I do think they could have done a little bit more with it. Uh, so the plot of the movie is these three people get hired to do something for these people, no questions asked. And that's, I guess it's like their typical thing they do. Yet the girl and the guy that work with him, Finnegan is his name. Joey and his girlfriend, she only has like 15 minutes of screen time, so I don't remember her name. Um, Layla, that's her name. Uh, Joey and Layla apparently don't like that they do this stuff. Then why are you working with him? They don't explain why they're working with him. They're just like, what kind of, uh, you know, motive or moral of the life is that? No questions asked. Like, it's. Then why are you working with him if you don't like it? Layla gets killed. I honestly forgot she even died. I thought they just forgot about her character because her death is really fucking lame. She just kind of gets pulled out of the hole in the ship. And then this guy, Billy, he was a bit of a nothing character. We later see the monster get shot in the arm, and it drops this fucking brutal looking corpse. And apparently that's Billy from the ship. I was waiting for them to go to the ship and see Billy the whole time. I thought that was just some random guy named Billy when we saw that kill. And I was just like waiting, for his characters to still be alive when they got to the ship. But I was, I guess, kind of dumb for that. Vito has probably my favorite death of the movie, even though Billy's death was pretty violent. He fucking wants to blow up the vault, but decides not to. He just uses a key card, and he goes, money, 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 and then he just gets a fucking axe to the head. It's just fucking hilarious. Rip Vito, man. He died way too soon. Two of the best characters of the movie died way too soon, man. Vito and T-Ray. T-Ray's the first fucking hired gun to die. I do think this movie's way too much action, not enough horror. There are horror elements to it, but it definitely feels way more like an action movie. Joey and I think the guy's name was Hanover, start having a bit of a like relationship halfway through the movie. It was mainly Finnegan and Hanover having like this weird combative relationship, both of them not really liking each other but being forced to work together. But eventually it's Finnegan and Joey that's not Finnegan, Joey and Hanover that start having like a relationship. Of course, they have the typical movie thing where, they're trying to outrun the monster. They can't. So the guy says, the only thing that slows the monster down is food. He's like, what are we going to feed it? And then, of course, tries to feed him Joey. Joey, however, escapes through a dumbwaiter and later runs into Hanover again, being eaten alive by the monster. And Joey had found a gun on the table. He did not get a chance to load it. So it was lucky that there was a bullet in there at all. There were bullets on the table, but he didn't get the chance to load it. And he decides to be nice and give Hanover the gun so he can kill himself so he doesn't have to have a very fucking brutal death to this monster. But Hanover fucking shoots at him. It's fucking hilarious. And Joey just yells, "You asshole!" And then fucking Hanover tries to turn the gun on himself. But that was the only bullet in the gun. So now he's got a slow death. You did that to yourself. Mulligan has the dumbest death in the movie. Mulligan wants to fucking hole up in a place because they're just keep getting picked off one by one, and he thinks it's smart. They got enough food to survive for 24 hours by the time, like a ship will come get help or something that they had mentioned. And they don't want to do that, but he tries to force them to all stay there. I don't know why. Like, he could have just let them go. But no, he points a gun at them and tries to make them stay. Maybe if he was trying to make his friend Hanover stay, I would understand, but he wants everybody to stay. I mean, that gives you a better chance of survival, plus more food. What is your issue? The monster ends up killing him because he gets cocky after shooting it a little bit, and he's like, "You ain't shit." And he turns the fire off, which was somewhat helping him, and of course, he dies right after. He just had a really dumb death. There's this guy, Canton, who's this not such a bad person at first. Like, he's just a guy that wanted insurance money because the cruise ship is not making enough money. So he was going to let these guys rob him, and he was going to split their insurance money with them. And it obviously went wrong because of the sea creature. And he suddenly becomes a very evil person, and he has like a fucking double barrel flare gun. I've never heard of that. I've always liked double barrel shotguns in video games. That's the only reason I know why it's a double barrel. But it's a double barrel flare gun, and he fucking tries to shoot it at Jean. Well, not Jean. I don't remember what her character's name is, but I'm obviously thinking of her as Jean from X-Men, because she did really good in those movies. The movie ends with fucking Jean from X-Men and Finnegan surviving. And, assumedly Joey had died because he found a hat with like slime on it. But turns out Joey's still alive. And they're now stuck on an island, and apparently there's some kind of monster on there too because they hear growling or something. And they're like, now what? So they kind of got fucked over. This movie unfortunately flopped, so it didn't get a sequel. Which is, I guess, whatever. I think it's a decent ending, even though it's a cliffhanger ending. I definitely wish it would have got a sequel, but it's definitely not going to get one now because, unfortunately, Treat Williams, the main actor, passed away 2 years ago. So rest in peace, Treat Williams. But overall, I thought it was a decent movie. I just wish there was more of a horror element to it. Just too much action for me personally, but it was still a good movie.